Hello, YouTube. This is Asatsu5, and I got something that's pretty hilarious in my eyes. This is a old comment, and when I say old, about 2 weeks. But it's something that came back to me when I was thinking about it, reminiscing about it. And I have a list of controversial videos that spark a lot of debate and hatred and whatever. Um, but on my video on how to wear brass knuckles, I show the proper way to wear brass knuckles, especially if they're too small for you. I'm not saying there's not brass knuckles that might fit you a little bit better that you can wear in the stereotypical manner, but most brass knuckles, they're meant to be held under the distal phalangic joint. And anyways, in this video, Matthew Brodom, Braddom, says in his comment, sounds like you've been hit too many times with knuckle dusters, and he spelled two T-O. Now I'm no stranger to being made fun of because of my speech impediment, but anyways, I just kind of off the cuff said, "Don't you mean two T-O-O, not two T-O?" And and here's the thing. Y'all know me. You subscribe to me. You know I'm severely dyslexic and severely dysgraphic. And I didn't have the best school life in the world. So, you know, spelling, grammar is not something that I'm very knowledgeable of. I pride myself on being able to articulate myself as to my best ability. But a lot of these concepts you know, that I was introduced to about grammar and stuff, I wasn't introduced to late in life. And I always tried to articulate myself well, and it always irritated me when I was with my classmates and they'll say things like, we got to go there, or we got to do this, you know, we ain't did that, you know. And ain't is technically a word, and I occasionally use it, but, you know, like the really, really bad grammar. And I just didn't want to be lumped up with them. I wanted to make my sound as educated as possible. Anyways, this guy flips a lid that says, LOL, you're a grammar Nazi with a speech impediment. Regarding a fairly mild comment saying that I've been hit with brass knuckles too many times, that's why I talk the way I do. That's mild. But he says, regarding a fairly mild random comment on the internet, well, I couldn't make this stuff up. Thank you for dinner time story. I hope everything is spelled right. Laugh out loud. And that was something that I've never been called before. I've never been called a grammar Nazi before because my spelling is terrible, my grammar is terrible. I've passed remedial writing classes in college, but I was never able to test out of them. Something about being timed to write an essay just didn't sit well with me. I wasn't able to do it. Doesn't mean I can't do it now. But I've never been called a grammar Nazi, and I never had the tools to be a grammar Nazi. It just so happened in college I learned the difference between T-O and T-O-O. And I learned that in college, sadly. I'm willing to admit that. So this was my response. I said, if you're going to make fun of me of my speech impediment, it's something I can't help, or I cannot help. I feel I can point out your mistakes that you can help. It doesn't mean that I'm a grammar Nazi. It means I'm a caring person that wants to help you. I feel if you're going to troll, you might as well do it. Yeah, you might as well do it right, so you don't look ignorant. And by all means, talk about it at dinner. You're welcome. And he hasn't responded back to that. But yeah, you know, I get a lot of hate on YouTube, and some people say that people in my condition shouldn't be on YouTube. And yeah, I think it's helped toughen my skin a little bit, you know. But I just found it hilarious that I was called a grammar Nazi. And, you know, the whole educational system for remedial classes and stuff and how they treated me was just terrible. You know, when I had dyslexia and I had proof I was dyslexic, my original school district refused to put me in the dyslexic program because, well, I had a speech impediment and dysgraphia, which painted a bad picture of my cognitive ability. And, pretty much had to twist their arm. And then when they complained about me being in the dyslexic program, they sent me to a private school just for the dyslexic program. I still attended the public school, but I'd leave the public school to go to a private school to do the dyslexic program because, they were a-holes. But anyways, I never had the tools to be a grammar Nazi. Every time I would take a English class, in the remedial English class, we pretty much wouldn't get past nouns and verbs. And it's sad. Especially like in high school, it was like this my whole life, but or my whole school life. But especially in high school, what they would do is you would learn your verbs and your nouns and pronouns and stuff, and you'll get to that point. The next year would come along, and you get a new freshman, and they go by the dumbest student in the class. I'm not trying to be rude, but the most ignorant student pretty much determines what you're going to be studying in any situation that you're in when it comes to public school. So we'll be right back to square one, and we'll study nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives. So we never actually learned sentence structure. We didn't learn about dependent and independent clauses. We didn't learn how to use a comma or semicolon or any of those non-ending punctuation marks. So it was sad, that my whole school life in public school, we never got above pronouns, nouns, and adjectives. And, I had to be taught this stuff when I went to college. And I'm a lot better at going to college and learning that stuff and being on YouTube and stuff. It has helped me immensely. And, so I am a grammar Nazi, apparently, because I pointed out that the person used T-O instead of T-O-O. And for those of you who don't know what T-O-O means, the way I remember is that it's too extreme, too many. I don't know why. That's how I remember it. The English teacher was like, yeah, when someone puts T-O-O, they're talking about an abundance. So that's how I remember it. But yeah, I thought I'd share that with you. Someone who struggles with reading, spells terribly, and on YouTube, y'all call me out on my spelling all the time, and I really appreciate it. And most of the time, they'll be like, dude, you misspelled, I can't think of anything, Spanish. And I'll be like, oh yeah, well, I'm dyslexic, I can't spell. And they'll be like, all right, cool, dude, glad to help. And I really appreciate you when you call out if my title of my video is misspelled. Please tell me that it's misspelled. It's the kind thing to do. If you're polite about it, I respect you and I appreciate it. And that's it. I hope y'all have a great day. I found this hilarious. Like I said, this happened about 2 weeks ago, and I was just thinking back on it, and I thought it was pretty funny. So that's it. I'm a Satsu 5, and I'm out.